Hey, welcome to JTV Extra. I'm Sandra Younger. I invented a cord knotting and design tool called the Knotty-Do-It-All, and that is what this show is all about. Stringing material, leather, silk, polyester, nylon, you name it. This show is about like making jewelry with stringing material, and today's project is really cool. I have some really cool tips and tricks, guys, that you're just gonna love. Because one of the problems that I've always had with this particular bracelet is that the cord needs a lot of tension, and I came up with a really cool way to like just nail it. I mean, just like get the tension that you need, and it makes working up your like bracelet or necklace so much faster and easier. I think we have a lot to cover. I want to finish the project on today's show, so I'm going to jump into the products, and then we'll get to the customer show. And I encourage you guys to send in anything that you have. This is my last month. The last week in May will be my last show. So if you have anything that you've been wanting to send in, please send it in so it could be featured in one of the shows. So here are the products on today's show. All right, so here are the goodies for today. And the first item is the Knotty-Do-It-All. And there are so many things that you can do with this, so I had to make a list. So let's check out the list. Okay, in the first place, it is made in the United States. It's solid wood. It's like having an extra pair of hands, or like lots of extra pairs of hands. And it's, you know, it's ideal for beading, knotting, weaving. Yes, you can weave with the board. So here is a video of me weaving. And it's actually pretty easy because it holds the, you know, your thread, so that way you can really, you know, get in there. And plus what I like, it's long, so that way you can use the end parts to, like, I don't know. I just do all kinds of things. Let me show you a couple of things that I do that I think are like really cool. Like, you know, because I've got, you know, the end parts that are really long, you can come in and like on this one, I braided it. And on this one, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. You could do like macrame. You could put rings on the ends. I have just a bunch of different ways that, you know, that I finish the end. So if you're like looking to get like a loom, then, you know, you basically could turn this into a loom. And it does have everything you need, and most of all, it is really, really, really fun to use. And here are just a sampling. I mean, I'm not going to go over everything because there is a lot, but I'll just like touch on a couple of things. Measures in both inches and millimeters. So if you, you know, because I know a lot of you guys are use the metric system, so it does have the you know, the rulers in both inches and centimeters, which is really handy. And sometimes even I like the metric system better because it's I think it's more precise because the increments are smaller. So that's really handy. I do actually, I mean, I can't believe I'm saying that I use the metric system, but I do. It's got both boards have the bead and ring size chart, like you could see here. And that comes in really handy because a lot of times I need to know like what size like a ring is, and so having the bead and ring size chart is very, very handy. Let me see. Oh, yeah, it's got the travel board, which is the little one here. You do get a DVD and an ebook, but everything is available online. I've got the, you don't need a password anymore. Everything is on YouTube because a lot of you kept losing your password. So I just thought I'd put it on YouTube, which is, and plus there's an archive of all the past JTV Extra lessons. So that's really handy to have. And let me see, a big thing, eliminates the guesswork for measurements because you can measure as you go. It keeps tension. And in today's show, I've got a fantastic tip for you. Oh my goodness, this is like a new one. But it just really, it's fun. It makes a great gift like any time of the year. There are so many things you can do. It's just like really, I love it. I use mine every single day. I call it the board of life because it is my life. I love it. And let's see, next we have, ooh, this leather is actually really, really nice. It is a 2mm leather by Leather Cord USA. And what I like about it, it has it sticks a landing. I don't know if you guys understand what that means, but sometimes when you're working with like leather that's coated, you know, the knots are a little bit like harder to keep in place. I mean, it's doable, but this one just really, like when you get the knot, it just like stays. And I really enjoy making necklaces that like have the coil knots or barrel knots, actually. And it's just a really nice leather, and both of them are like let me see what I think the black one, I think they're both like a natural. No, I think the black one has like a coating, but it's still like really nice leather. And let's see, 2 meters, yeah, ages 3 and over. So that is the leather. And then next, ooh, these the black sunstone. You know, I was just like experimenting, and I made this really cool bracelet with these. They're large hole, 8 inches, but check it out. So what I did was I paired it up with because it kind of like, it has that glowy look, kind of like labradorite. So I paired it up with this labradorite pendant, and I made this bracelet. And this was like purely experimental, because the bracelet, that's what's so fun about this board. I mean, you could start something and then you see like, oh, I can do that. So it was the bracelet was originally supposed to be like this, right? And these parts were going to get cut off. And I thought, you know what? Maybe if I overlap them and then put like a macrame, like a binding knot style with a pendant in the middle, and it ended up coming out really, really cool. And that's because you've got to, you know, it's interesting because sometimes you get an idea and it just seems impossible because there's just like no way to like hold it to get the job done. But this board, I mean, you could just like, I mean, if you just think about it and boom, boom, you could just move your pins and your clips, and then, you know, especially with the skill set that I teach, you can get very, very, very creative. So this one actually came out really nice. I was very happy with it. It just, the whole glowy thing just ended up working out really nice. So that's the black sunstone. Beautiful, beautiful beads. Every time I see these, I absolutely love them. And then next, oh, the unakite. This today's project is going to be with these beads. And you know, it's really like weird because I knew how to make this bracelet, and usually I had done it with like smaller round beads, and I thought there's no way it's ever going to work with a square bead. And then check it out, it's perfect. I mean, I just love that the beads, like they just stack up really nicely side by side, and so these are the 6 millimeter, and I did try it with some like smaller cube shaped beads. So this is so some of you might have these beads from like other shows. So this one ended up so as long as it's square, it just like you can't go wrong with the square shape. I did this one. This one's like squarish, and what makes them like different like is because this one looks real skinny, and that's because I have like one cord going through, because see, the hole size was small and these guys have big holes. So I was able to put like I think it was like 4 strands of the cord that I used. So it's very some of the techniques I teach are like very versatile, but you know, the square beads just really like worked for this project. So the unakite, and the nice thing is, you get 2 strands of the square bead. So if you want to like really like go to town like I did, I went nuts. I mean, I just couldn't stop making them. I thought I'm going to make one in every single color, like shape. You know, I tried, oh, it was just like I just kind of went like crazy. And then here's a picture of them shiny. And and I feel so bad because I was ignoring the round beads, but they're really pretty too. And I think I would probably tend to make like a mala style necklace with the round ones. But you get plenty with those the 2-strand cubes. And then these the multi-stone assorted connectors. These are really pretty. The nice thing about these is they have they're 2-sided. So you know, like the stripe one, you know, you have this design on one side, and then you know, it's just different. And once again, I mean, this is another one where I took that same technique, and you know, I radiated, you know, out in the, you know, different directions, but this is what it ended up looking like. And I don't know, I mean, I haven't finished it because I still haven't decided whether I should turn it into a necklace or a bracelet. I think I'm tending to go for the bracelet only because I like the stripes going this way rather than, you know, like sideways. But, you know, I think if I were going to do it over again, I would put maybe like one here and then another one on the same hole going that way, and then put like a little dangle on the bottom. But it's kind of interesting because you can like have like two sides to the your pendant, which is really, really cool. And you know, maybe like earrings, if you, all you need is a simple like ear wire. So these multi-stone assorted connectors are like really nice. And the pink ones, I like the blue, the yellow one I really like, the peachy one, very beautiful. And it is a closeout buy, so they're only $3.64 each. That's like a bargain. So that is everything on today's show. I don't think I missed anything. Those beautiful beads, the leather, the connectors, the board. I love the board. Anyway, that's everything for today. Oh, guys, I'm reading some of the comments. I'm just like so touched. It really means a lot to me that, you know, I was gonna say it means a lot to me that you're sad, but no, that you guys are like so caring. But if there was a Buffon button, that was so funny. Like no, like a yeah, whatever. That was I read a comment real quick. It was like hilarious. But thank you so much. But I think, you know, over, you know, the past couple of years, I hope you guys have learned a lot because I hold nothing back. I've taught like practically everything I could possibly think of, and it's been wonderful. But let's move on to today's customer show because I don't want to start crying because, you know. Okay, so first we have, oh, this really pretty bracelet. I mean, necklace. I don't know why I said bracelet. Necklace by Laura Lee. Oh my God, I am just mesmerized. That is such a cool shell. I'm gonna guess you drilled it. I'm not gonna ask because I think I know the answer, but that looks so cool. And I love how it's paired with the evenly spaced like coin pearls and then the regular pearls. Really nice pairing. Ooh, I love it. Oh. I love stuff like this, guys. I love that really organic look. I'm not kidding. If I find something in a parking lot that I can like grab, and drag it home and put a hole in it, I turn it into a necklace. I don't care what it is. As long as it looks cool, I'm game. This is so pretty. Anyway, next we have Ann, Arizona. This is like amazing. I was just like blown away. How do you get the bead to stay in the middle? I need to go back to like macrame school or something, but this is like amazing. I mean, I can do like straight stuff, but that's it. I would get totally confused, but it's so pretty. Look at the necklace. It's got the little beads on the side with the matching earrings. Oh my God. I bet you when you wear these, you get like if I saw you at the store, like wearing these, I would like go up to you and like tell you, like, I know you made those because you just don't see stuff like this. I mean, don't you guys do that when you see somebody wearing something and you have to go say something? I ran into somebody the other day at the grocery store, and she had on a necklace, and you know, I just had to ask about it, and she was so happy because she says she made it over 30 years ago, and I was just like, wow, you just know, oh, I don't know how to explain it. You just know. Jess, South Dakota. Slade. Ooh, what does that mean? I want to know. Is it like I don't know, maybe I'm not part of the in crowd. Maybe it means something that everybody knows except me, but this is a really pretty bracelet. And I like how you like the little pieces of macrame, you know, kind of sort of like what I did with the with that one bracelet with the moonstone and the labradorite that I showed earlier. You know, you just put like little parts of the macrame binding knot, and it just like really makes like a huge difference. It just gives it like pop. Really pretty. Let's see. Ooh, what do we have next? And Arizona. Okay, so this has got like I don't think I've ever done anything like this where it's got like a triple row. I mean, I've done like the loom type, I think. I don't know, but I've never done it like this with leather, so that's really cool. And I love the button loop that you made. You know what? You know that is extremely durable and nothing is ever going to happen to that loop because that has every like thing going for it. It's pretty and you know that it's extra strong. So this bracelet, I'm going to guess, will last forever. And then next we have Laura Lee. Ooh, girl, she's been making jewelry for men. You know, that is something I have not done. I don't know why. Huh. But look at this. And are these stretch bracelets, Laura Lee? I meant to ask because I don't know if they're on beading wire or if they are like on like stretch. I just don't know. I'm gonna guess beading wire, but I could be wrong. But that's a great idea because honestly, aside from a shark tooth on leather, I don't see much in the way of jewelry for men at all. So you might maybe that's a new thing because you just don't see much for men at all. And then Jess, South Dakota. Oh, you know, I love the yellow because yellow is one of my favorite colors of this bracelet. And the way you did like the macrame and it's not on the leather, it's like on top of the leather, that like that middle part, that is so cool. And then okay, then you've got the bail, and I am going to guess that I don't know. I'm not going to guess because you could have done it like from where the bail is, you could have gone left and then right, or just macrameed all the way through. But it's a really pretty triple strand, and that leather is so pretty. I love that leather. Love it. Beautiful. And then next, ooh, here's another men's necklace. Ooh, God, love the moose knot right there. You know, that's so funny. The other day, just for fun, I asked Gemini about the moose knot, and it came back with Sandra Moose Younger. I don't know where that came from, but I thought it was kind of funny. Sandra Moose Younger. So I guess I just popularized the moose knot. But guys, come on. You've got to admit, it is like one of the prettiest knots, like for pendants. I mean, I think it is the nicest. I think if there was a beauty contest, that one would win because it is like, it's superb. And then next we have, ooh, Laura Lee. This is so pretty. You know, I love the gold with the pearls, and then it looks like the labradorite. It just really pops. And I think we have another picture here. Ooh, it's so pretty. Ah, look at that. Beautiful. It's got that gold cross. I like the bail. And I'm going to guess that you did all the wire wrapping, because I know, because before I got into cord knotting, I did like tons and tons and tons of wire wrapping. And man, let me tell you, after a while, your fingers are just like aching. So, so one thing that I do now, I still do wire wrapping, but then like the back part of it, I'll put like the macrame slide knot. So that way, it's adjustable, but this is really pretty. I love it. Beautiful. I love anything with like pearls. Ooh, and Arizona. Okay, here's that bracelet that we saw earlier. Here it is on the top, and then ooh, I like that, the multi-strand. See, this is, guys, that middle bracelet, that is the ladder stitch on a multi-strand. That is another thing you could do with the amazing multi-strand. And ooh, I like how you did. I remember that project. That was from about a month or so ago, and I think we've got a close-up of the one on the bottom here. See, the multi-strand, I mean, that's one of my big favorite things with the board, because with the multi-strand, you can do tassels, bracelets, necklaces. I mean, look at this, like the ladder bracelet. Very, very nice. It just gives it a nice, like different, like chunky look. And then here's this other bracelet from Anne. Oh, look at that, so pretty, red and black. Ooh, so fancy. And I like you do such good work with those button closures. Very nice. And then next we have Jess, South Dakota. This is so like juicy. I love this bracelet. It's got the hot pink and the red, which, hot pink and coral, anything like that are like my big favorites. Ooh, I like wow. How does this one end? I was very curious. Oh yeah, I see it. It has like the little tail back there where the button is. But look at that. You did a beautiful job with the barrel knots. Now, in the spiral macrame, ladder stitch. God, this one's got everything going. Wow, really, really pretty. And let's see, last we have, oh, here's some more Laura Lee. Ooh, another necklace with that beautiful moose knot. Oh, look at the one with the God, that's really nice, Lauralee. The one on the left with the is that like a, oh, I don't even know what they're called, arrowhead? And it's got the spiral macrame, very nice, and it looks like it's on leather. And I'm curious how you ended those. And then the cube turquoise with the black beads, and then the puka shell, I guess that's what they're called. Very nice combination. Just like love it. Like, wow, ooh, look at this. And then the black one on the right is you like how I put your name up there, Lauralee? I stamped out the brand name of the mannequin. Lauralee brand, Lauralee, Florida. It looks so cute. And I love the black. Uh, are they puka shells? I don't know, guys. Help me out. You think I would know my stuff by now, but I don't. But if it looks pretty, I don't care. That's what's important to me. I don't care what it is, as long as it's pretty. My friend and Tammy and I, we're just like, but it's pretty. Like, who cares if it's made out of like resin or like even dirt? But it's pretty. Anyway, guys, that is everything. If you have anything you want to send in, send it to the Knotty-Do-It-All@gmail.com the Tuesday before the show. All right, so we are going to get on with today's project, but I want to talk about a couple of things because I kept saying like for a couple of shows that I was going to do this, and you're like, what's that? So I took two of my favorite glues for jewelry making, and I just like literally just squished out the glue onto plastic and let it dry because I want to see what is it like. Yeah, I mean, because after you put it in a jewelry, you're like, well, what is it actually like? Okay, so these black spots, you know, they just came from the inside of the tube, so it's not like, I mean, but that's not a big deal. But this one is the GS Hypo Cement, and it is clear, and it's very like plasticky. It's very like strong. And then this one is the B7000, which is another one that I really really like. And it's not as clear. They're both equally as plasticky, but the main difference that I feel that this one has more like traction, because when you like try to like squeeze it, like this one like has, you know, I don't know how to explain it, but it just like it's less likely, like if you have a cord in there to slip. For most cases, I would use the GS Hypo Cement. However, I think I will pick this one when you're working, like, let's say, because, you know, a lot of you that are familiar with the way I do things, a lot of times I'll fold cord over and then I'll do a macrame binding knot. So, for example, like if it's a lot of cord, like in today's like project, you know, there's several strands going through there, I will definitely pick the B7000 because I know it has more like stick, or I don't know how to explain it. But, you know, if you ever have a glue and you're just not familiar with like what its characteristics are, just like squeeze a bunch of it out onto just any parchment paper or anything, and just let it dry. It just really helps you become familiar with it. I mean, they're both very flexible. They're like plastic. And the interesting thing is, this one smelled like paint. Was it paint thinner? One of them smelled like paint thinner, and the other one smelled like acetone. This one I think was like more like the paint thinner, and the GS Hypo Cement was like the acetone. And I've used both, and none of them seemed to make a difference. They didn't like disintegrate the cord or anything like that. Over the years, I have moved away from like super glue. I mean, there's very rare occasions that I'll use a super glue. And the reason is, it's very interesting because I did this same test with super glue, and it's crunchy like a cracker. I mean, it will snap. Some of you might be familiar with that, which in my opinion is not good, especially when you're trying to use it to like hold like lots of like cords that are bound together. So this is my little like glue tip. Anyway, for today's project, this one, guys, let me tell you, I mean, I went like crazy just trying all kinds of things. I mean, once you see like the way the stitch is done, that's pretty simple. But I do want to talk about like different like approaches that I did, just so if you don't have any large hole beads, you have smaller ones. And of course, smaller bead, smaller hole, like maybe you might only be able to get one thread in, or maybe like a doubled thread, because, I use like the leadered needle double thread thing. And what that is I take fishing line, put a needle on the end, and it just makes getting the beads on like so much like easier. But with the large hole bead, since I was able to get like maybe like 3, sometimes 4 like strands to it, just gives it like a chunkier look. And it makes the holes like less prominent. So I opted for this project to go with the chunky look. This one here, the hole sizes were like small. So I used like a thinner cord. So it's very adaptable. And and then it just got me thinking and thinking. Okay, so technically the cord that you use on the inside does not have to be the same as the cord that you use on the outside. So this one gives you a lot of room for experimentation. That's one thing that I really, really liked about it. I haven't done like the transition test, because a lot of the things that I teach, I like, you can go from knotting to braiding, and or macrame to this, that, or the other. I don't have a final like list of like the transitions you can do with this, but it does lend itself really well to, where is the bracelet with this one? You can like radiate out from the side. So this technique was really good for that. And it just really, really cool. And so I'm using a flat wax braided cord, but I tried it with round, thin, thick, metallic. I mean, I was just like experimenting with like a bunch of different cords. So the really important, I mean, I don't have a major cheat sheet, but I took 2 60-inch strands of this flat braided cord. So that's what you need to cut. So you go to your spool, cut 2 60-inch strands, and then you are going to put a leadered needle on here. And the thing is, let me make sure the ends are like matched up, because I mean, even for me, this part was a little bit confusing, because when you make this bracelet, you'll have your like cords side by side like this. So what I did was I strung on like half the beads, then the button, then the other beads, before I started like doing the knotting. And the reason is, okay, a lot of times, I'll say, because, sometimes if you have a ring on one side, a button on the other, a lot of you ask me, well, should I start with the ring or the button? I tried it like both ways, like they worked fine. However, I like putting the button on first, because, and this will make sense, at the end, you need to come back through like twice, and there's a lot of cord. So if you just slide the button on first, you've got like fewer cords like going through the middle. And then the ring, since it's like a 7 to 8 millimeter, it's big enough for all the cords. It was just less like struggle. I mean, I was able to do it, but I just thought putting the button on first was like the best idea. So let me get some of these beads on, and let me see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. So 11 on each side. So let me just quickly, and this is another thing I really like about the leadered needle. It really helps like get your beads like strung on like a lot faster. So there's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so I'm going to put 11 on. And then I'm going to put the button right here. Yeah, this is great. Let me make sure this is like all centered. And one thing, I mean, only because I've made this like several times, I know, and I can clearly count that there's like 11. If you're not sure, I would tend to put on more than you think you'll possibly need, because nothing's worse than like not getting it right and then not being able to get the beads on. 7, hang on, let me count. 6. Okay, right there. And I'll show you my really cool like tip to keep like major tension on the cord. Okay, so we're gonna get all this centered. So I'm gonna just put this end into a clip right here, and I'm going to just I'm like just kind of going like this, just to make sure that all the cords are nice and pretty much on the end, like completely like even, but not, I mean, they're not perfect, but, and then I'm going to put an overhand knot on the end, really important because it's going to be like critical for the, like the next step. So nice and tight. The tip, oh my God, guys, this right here. So what I did was I just got a clasp and I put like, I don't know, it's about like maybe a 2-inch part of a stretch. I used a Stretch Magic, and you just, you know, make like a loop with the stretch cord on there. This is fantastic. So what I do here is I don't think I'm going to need that leader needle anymore. So let me cut that off. Got everything on there, and let me just recap. Oh no. Oh, I forgot to go back through the hang on, let me whoops. Let's get that leader needle back on. You need to go back through the button. Okay. No big deal. I'm glad I caught that. Okay, let's get this leader needle back on. I always do like a double when I make the leader needles because okay, let's do this. Okay, now back through. Okay. Oh, that would have been terrible if I actually started doing the knotting without going back through the button. Very important. Okay. There we go. So let me just scoop this down and then put the beads back on. All right. Well, I like getting the strands off the beads off the strand because it's just so much faster. So if you have your strands of beads, like, I mean, back in the day, I don't know what I was thinking. I used to just like, as soon as I got beads, I would just like cut them all off the strand and put them in like a little bowl. Not anymore. I just like take them right off the strand. I mean, once in a while, it's you know what? Actually, it's always a good idea to look at the beads to make sure there aren't any like that are chipped. Or let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and one more. There it is. Okay. All right. So let's get this on. Okay. So what we want to do is get everything like centered. So let me get this here. And one tip that I always tell people is like, I want to get the button in here. So you could take like a pair of like pliers and just slightly bend this part of the clip so that way it opens up more. I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to put let me get the ends like straight because that's going to be really important. Make sure that they like meet up. Okay, they do. So I'm going to put this here. And where is the clasp with the stretch? Okay, so we're going to put a post probably about right there. And let me get this off. And I cut my leader needles at the knot so I could reuse them because I love them. They're like, okay, so I'm going to split this. And what this is going to do is going to hold your cord. See, I put the clasp in here. And then let me just bring this back. Okay, so right there. Let me get these guys out of here since I don't need them. Okay, so get everything nice and straight. And if if you feel like there's still not enough like tension, you could like move this back even more. So see that? You hear that? Nice, it's perfect. And I keep a couple of extras, in case I get like aggressive and it breaks, but pretty much these guys, like, check that out. because back in the day, my suggestion was to wrap your cord on these, and it works, but this idea works even better. So that's one of my parting tips to you, because it works really, really well. And for the actual knotting, oh my goodness, I cut my, here it is. I just grabbed like 100 inches of cord, which I know is too much. I should have like used less. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to attach this cord. I'm going to measure about 6-7 inches out, and I am going to make, it's kind of like the moose knot where you like wrap, but I'm going to wrap 4 times, 3 and 4. I want to get a good like solid knot, because this see, it's long on one side, but this is going to be the one that we actually do our like weaving with. So I'm going to put this side in this way, and I'm keeping my finger on there because I know that this is being held like rock solid. Let me, oh my goodness, let me come back this way. Uh-oh. Okay, right there. So see how now this side is the long side. So you want the long side to come out that way. All right, who's looking good? And then you're gonna slide this over. And then the reason I do this like a little bit longer, so I can get like a nice tight grip on it. Nice and super, as tight as you possibly can. Okay, tighten. All right, so here is the fun part. Okay, let me get in here. Okay, so this cord here, it's basically a bunch of like half hitches. So hang on, let me squeeze in. So you're basically going to be doing like that. And then on this side, it's the same thing. So always like start with your thumb and make like a letter L, because, you know, at first when I was doing it, I kept getting confused. But so just put your finger in there, just like this, and then bring it like under. So that's one, see, like the letter L, and there's 2, and then 3, 4, okay, let's get that one, 4, and 5. Okay, so you want to, at first I start off with 5, but from here on out, it's going to be like 12. So I'm going to slide 2 up, and then I'm going to like, here's 1, whoops, and then 2, you want to like crank it, because you don't want any gaps in here. So there's 2, and then you just count 3, 4, 5, 6. So you just count. And the spacing that you put, you could change it. So there's 6. I'm just going to keep going. And another thing that you can do, let's say you're making like a double, and I don't want to lose count. Okay, 6. I'll stop at like 7 right here. Is that understandable what I'm doing? Like okay, here's 8. I said I'd stop at 7, but once you get started, you can't stop. So here's 9. Okay. One thing that you can do, let's say if you're doing like a wrap bracelet, you could use like the flip bobbins, which, let me grab one. So that's another thing that you could do, is you could, which I did, because I made, when I first made them, a couple of them, I wasn't quite sure how much cord I needed. So I used like one of these flip bobbins. It's just, oh, you guys know, anyone that's made a ladder bracelet knows it's like, you know, the ladder bracelets like take everything in its weight. So you just, I think that was 10, 11, and then it was I think that was 12. Okay. Yeah, I think that was 12 because I know, because 12 should always end on this side. So if you like lose count like I almost did, and then you put 2 beads up, and then you start counting again. There's 1, 2, and you want to like make sure and like give it a good like, you know, pulling, because you don't want any gaps in here. Because the first I think, let me see if I can show it to you. There was one that I made that was so ugly. Ugh. Okay, this one, the first time I made it, I tried like different spacings, like a little bit of space, a lot of space. And as I, you know, put more space in, I realized that I really did like having more space in between, because, you know, the part of the beauty of it is that this part shows. So there's a 2, let's see, 3, and just kind of give it a good, like, you know, like a good solid pull up. Now, you know, I think, what do you guys think? You think using the flip bobbin is fast? I think it is. Oh my goodness. This is great. So these flip bobbins come with your board, and oh, they're just like, especially if you're doing like a long macrame. Oh my goodness, thank you, Michael. I'm going to keep going. Until like I make this like long enough to, because I don't want to run out of time before I show you how to finish the end. Okay, so let's do this. So is this understandable? Oh yeah, Mary. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. That's another thing that's really cool about this. It's like you can get like 2, like if you could like flip it over and it looks like this. So you could actually get like 2 different looks. And there was actually, oh, was it this bracelet that I actually liked? And oh, you could do clasp and chain. I did a clasp and chain on this one, but I think I really liked that. I mean, it's like, you know, they're just completely like different. So you can go either way. Isn't that cool? And it's not that hard. It's just uh, kind of just going back and forth. Okay, what size is the cord in the bobbin? Okay, this is a size 16 waxed braided cord. That's what I'm using. But it can be used. I tried several different kinds of cord. I tried round, wax cord 2. I tried metallic. I tried this, but that was a little bit too crazy for me. I didn't like that one as much. Oh, here's another one that I did. This one I used the 0.5 a wax jewelry cord. Look how cute that is. Oh, it's just like amazing. The length in the bobbin, I put 100 inches, but I know that it's more than I'm actually going to need, because, you know, I didn't want to like, you know, run out in case I change my mind. But the cords, the 2 cords that I'm doing the knotting on are like right there, 2 times 60, and then you put the leader needle on. But I think one of the most important things is you just make sure and just like do it like nice and like snug. Yeah, okay. But the thing with the rondelles is, oh, tricky. And I'll talk about the rondelles in just a second. Okay, because I don't want you guys to go like run off and make it with a rondelle and then it doesn't work and you're just wondering like, what on earth? Because the rondelles have a secret. And I kind of sort of lost count, but I'm just gonna like go by like eyeball it. Okay, I'm gonna tell you something about the rondelle. Okay, so let me get these 2 up, and like, I want to get at least a long enough part before I finish the ends. But, you know, if you're making this bracelet, I put 11 on each side. But just remember, if you need it a little bit longer, just add an extra bead or so. Okay. The rondelle. Guys, I was going crazy because with the first one that I did with the rondelle, hang on, I'm trying to count and like talk about something else at the same time, which is not very easy. Let me just do this one and then I'll tell you what the deal was with the rondelle because it's very, very important. Hang on, let me just do this one. Oh, this is great. And what I love about it, once you get like started, it's like you can't stop. This is like, and the tension's great. You don't have to worry about anything slipping. It's just like, woohoo. Okay, I think right here, this is 12. Okay, very important. Okay, remember 12, the magic number. Okay. When I first did this, was it this one? Or maybe it was another one that I did. I'm trying to find out where the trouble started. Okay, I tried with one. I didn't like that. Okay, basically what happened, and I don't know why, with the rondelle, there was a gap. Like, I kept getting these big gaps. Okay, and I was just like, what is the deal? It works perfect with the square. And I think I figured it out. Because the rondelles can't exactly like sit side by side because they're, you know, they're wider. When you get to 12, you got to do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12, 12. Very important. Oh my God, 13 minutes. So you have to do like 2 more. So just count like when you're working with the rondelles, when you get to 12, just do 2 more and it fixes the problem because I did not have that problem at all with this one using the additional 3 12. I don't know, it's just something about, I mean, I'm not a mathematician, but I'm sure there's a mathematical reason for that. So, so I'm going to just do this nice and tight. But for whatever reason, I think it's because the square beads, I don't know. I should have paid attention in my math class. Maybe that trigonometry or whatever I should have been studying would have explained what my problem is right now. But the square beads, I noticed that I do not have that problem at all with them. And I mean, I can go on and on with this technique. There's so many, like, you know, I started like brainstorming like everything that you could do. And it's just like, I'd have to write like a whole series, which, you know, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll just do like this series on this technique with like every little tip and trick. Because technically you could add a pendant, you could change up the design of the beads, you could combine the rondelles with the squares as long as you know the 12, 12, 12 like trick. So is that right? Yeah. So how am I doing on time? I'm gonna do one more or a couple of more, and then I'll move on to the finishing because, you know, it's very repetitive. So, you know, you would just keep like just once in a while the cord will get kind of like stuck. Just kind of give it a good like pulling. And one thing you want to keep your eye out for, which, you know, I saw it, but I don't know why I just spaced out. But there, it is possible. You want to be careful. Let me see which one it was. Oh, I don't, maybe it's not even noticeable. Maybe it's just a me thing, maybe being overly picky. Oh yeah, like right there. I just feel like I didn't do it tight enough. See that little bump right there? So it kind of sort of bugged me. So if you see like a little bump, what that usually means is you just didn't like pull tight enough. So this is really cute. And I was thinking, since it looks kind of like branches, I was thinking for those of you that are into like wine or like vineyards, you could put like purple with like a green to make it look like a, I don't know, like a wine vine or something. I don't know anything about wine. It goes, they grow on vines, right? I don't want Best Bar to like send me an educational email. Like, girl, I don't know anything about they grow the vineyard vine. Yeah, okay, it's got to be a vine. Yes. So nice and tight, and then okay. So let's pretend like no. Let me do a cup. I'll do. I've got time because and remember you could do like chain on one side because like right here like I would have put the clasp on first and then the ring or the chain. So that's just so cute. I mean, I don't know. I can't wait. I hope you guys try it. Oh, and I want to thank God. You guys are like amazing. I mean, we got a full house here today. I'm so glad you guys are able to drop in. And oh, don't forget if it's already May. So if you have brilliant cash, it's your birth month, don't forget to use it. Check out your account and you can use it to buy these really cool square beads. Okay, so I think, yeah, one more. I keep saying one more. Okay, I'll do one more. So I'm going to go here. Nah, you know what? This will be the last one. So let's say you're finished. So what I do is I don't do as many. Okay, let's see, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think 6 would be good. I'm going to go 6. So one here. And the reason is because once you attach the ring and you put the macrame binding knot, you don't want like a really big gap between the your ring and the, hang on guys, I'm stretching to get my, oh, here it is. I just had this out of reach. Let me zoom out. Okay. And I'm going to take my ring. And this is an 8mm, and that's what I picked. Just like something for all the threads to go through. But we're just going to pretend like I finished because I don't want to run out of time. And at this point, you can just should you cut it? Nah. No. I think we'll need this part. Let's see, because this is my new thing. I'm not like quite sure of all the cool tricks you need it for. Okay, let's get this, and you're gonna take your last bit of cord, and you might be wondering like, oh, you've got a lot of like thread left, and because this measurement, I based it on like whether I wanted to make a short necklace, like a choker. So it's, if you make a few and you realize you need less, then definitely use like less cord. So let me make sure that all of these are like nice and straight. So what you want to do is feed your ring on. Oops. I'm going to get all of these through. And see, that's what I was talking about at the beginning. If you put the button on last, look at all these cords you have to deal with to go through the button, back over. It's just a lot to deal with. But I mean, if you're working with like a single cord, like I did on a couple of them, it really doesn't matter. It really made no difference. So what I did here is I am going to get my handy thingy that I made, because get all that tension on there. And then I'm going to put a macrame binding knot. And let's see, we got to like eyeball this. You don't want too much, you don't want too little. Probably about right there. And then take a peg and just stretch it out. And see that? Nice, and it's just so, isn't that a cool tip? Okay, so now I'm going to come in here and clip this right in there. Perfect. And now I'm going to use the P7000. And you want to get it really, since it's going to be holding a lot of cords, you just want to get it like inside, outside, just really like generously like on all the like surfaces. So I just kind of like squeeze it in there, like get it all in. And one nice thing about this glue is so much easier to get that little thing in, I think. Oh no. Ugh. Okay, there. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is put a macrame binding knot on here. Let me whoops. Hang on. Let me scoot the board. Whoop, right there. Scoot, scoot. Oh, perfect. And usually I get 16 inches. I thought maybe I'll get like, I don't know, 20. Because what I want to do here is I want to macrame and then macrame over the macrame. Because that gives it like, it makes it like super extra strong. So I'm going to come in here and right at the very top, I'm going to give it a nice, like, pull it really hard. Oh, top, okay. And then you'll see the glue ooze out, but that's a good thing because remember, basically it'll be doing is it'd be like encapsulating that knot, which is exactly what you want. So don't wipe it off. Just let it dry completely. And let me tell you, you will have a rock solid like finish. Okay, and then top. Let me lock the focus in since it looks like it's bouncing everywhere. And then bottom and top. Remember, nice and tight. And then what I do is I flip it over just like this. And then I macrame back over the macrame that I just did. So there's. So you guys like the elastic cord tip? I love it. If you have a bunch of clasps just like sitting around, you can like make them like useful. All right. Tight, tight, tight. Because God, the last thing you want is your stuff to fall apart. And with the binding knot, and I mean the binding knot is like fantastic. It is so strong, and I guarantee you, your pieces will not fall apart. But it just, a lot of time. Oh, I'm gonna have to use this guy. Let's see if this will work. Yeah, that's good. This is a low melting thingy, but it's not. I don't know. It's low melt, but it's too low for my liking. Okay, maybe that's not so bad. The one thing I do is like always blow because smoke will go right into your face. So let me just like fix this one up a little bit more. And boom. Okay, so I'm going to keep this on the board because when you have tension and you cut, it's just so much better. And then on this side, I'm going to melt it. And then for the end part, you could put that slider knot that I show in a lot of my videos, which is you take like a piece of faux leather. Let me grab. I'll just grab this one. So this is about 12 inches, and what I do is I put the faux leather in there and measure off about 4 inches, and then I'm going to put a moose knot on the end. So what I do is I take a pin and a clip, and I talk about the moose knot. I mean, I see a lot of familiar names here, so I know that a lot of you know about the moose knot. So I'm going to do like one, because I don't want a really big moose knot on the end, just like enough to get the job done. And then I tighten this. slide it down, and then I put a barrel knot. Ooh, I got like 1 minute left. Let's see if I could do a barrel knot in 1 minute. Okay, I'm gonna try. I like to step down in the thickness, like if I'm doing, I'll just use this black here because you don't want the barrel knot to be so like thick. So I'm gonna come in here and do like, I'm gonna wrap 4 times around. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Hold it. I'm pushing up. And then this side will go in this way. And then the other side will go in the other way. And I'll hang on, let me get this one. And if you have trouble like getting it to go through, you could always grab your handy needle, just like that. Feed the cord through the eye of the needle and, oops, magically pull it through. And then tighten. So I like to slide the coil knot to the very end and just like tighten it as tight as I possibly can. And I know I'm running a little bit late, but and then I take like a lighter. And the reason I move it like far away is because the lighter might like melt parts of this cord, but since you're going to be sliding it down, you just melt that into a ball, but don't tap it down because it might melt your, I mean, it might put like a nick in your main cord because of like the sharp sides of the, okay, so we're almost done. And then the last thing that you would do is just slide it to where it fits your button and then put a couple of like right here, an overhand knot and a little decor button, and you'll have something that looks like this. See that? Anyway, guys, I know that I'm over in my time, so bad me. Anyway, thank you for joining the show. I hope you learned something really cool. Send in, I hope I see a lot of these bracelets in next week's customer show. I'm really excited to see what beads you guys use. If you go with the rondelle, square, skinny, thick, anything. I can't wait to see what you make. Anyway, I will see you guys next Thursday. Bye.